Louis Devereux here for Slothbox, sponsored by the Excelsior Sporting Club, joined by Frank Smith. Frank, there's 3 massive fights on this weekend. Why should people tune into this one?
Look, I think you just look at the polls on social media, which is what I do. Look at what the fans are saying. They all think this is the biggest fight out there. I think we all saw what Mauricio Lara can do over his last few fights. Lee Wood was ahead in that fight. He knows what he needs to do to go back in there and get the win. I think it's going to be entertainment from round 1, and I can't wait for it. It's a massive fight. Respect to Lee Wood for going straight back in there, because a lot of fighters wouldn't do this. Got a great undercard as well. You've got Jack Catterall back out after 450 odd days, I think it is. He's an amazing talent. He should be undisputed, or should have been undisputed champion of the world. Won that fight against Josh Taylor convincingly, didn't get the result, and he's had a hard time since then as well. Some ups and downs, but now the key is for us get him back out, get that momentum going, get a great win. Dara Foley's been a great build-up, and that's going to be a great fight between the two of them. Terry Harper as well against Habazin, a real fight, a proper fight, especially after the sad news of last week, the Breakhouse fight pulling out last minute. Campbell Hatton, Aqib Fiaz, Aaron Bowen, Will Crawler, a stacked card top to bottom, and looking forward to it. And I think it's going to be unrivaled.
Is it frustrating to get these big clashes, or is it just a case of you've got to make sure your card is better than the others and you've got to stand out?
Look, I'm not going to sit here and go, who cares? It's unfortunate. It would be arrogant to think it's just about, it's going to lose viewers from every show, is the reality of it. Every show is going to be harmed by it, and it's a shame, but at the same time, it's something we do have to get used to. We've got a date for a show, and that's the date we have to work towards, and we can't. We're not going to just move shows because other promoters have got shows on. There's probably 70 odd shows a year, televised shows now. It's a shame there's 3 big fights, 3 world title fights. Obviously Michael Conlon looking to challenge Lopez will be a great fight, great atmosphere, and obviously Chris Billham-Smith again challenging Lawrence Okoli for his WBO belt. So look, 3 great shows. We're not going out of our way to do it, but I believe our show's the strongest out there.
So it's been reported that Frank Warren's going to put his main event on at 9 p.m. Is that something that you guys have agreed, or just something that he's going to do to sort of help everyone out?
I think Eddie spoke to George Warren as well. I think they took the step to do that at 9 o'clock. We're going to go about 10 o'clock. I don't actually know what Okoli, Billham-Smith, I don't know what they're looking to do. I'm not sure if anyone's asked them, but we're going to our similar timings. Look, it's all, like I say again, it's always hard. Not what we ideally want to do. The good news is the zone's available on about 25 different platforms, so you can watch it in any which way you like.
Looking back at last weekend, Casey Taylor, Chantal Cameron, massive fight, brilliant event. What's next for both of them?
Look, obviously, knowing Casey Taylor, I think she will want to go back in there for the rematch. Discussions ongoing, her management team talking to her. Chantal Cameron, respect to her, she went in there and did what she always believed she would do. An amazing fight. They put on a real fight, the best going in against each other. I think boxing can learn a lot from the two of them. People taking challenges when they don't necessarily need to as well, which is for the good of the sport of boxing, a long-term sport. So I think let's see what Katie Taylor decides. There's other massive fights out there for Chantal Cameron if the rematch isn't next. But yeah, exciting times.
Also last weekend, I know it wasn't your show, but I'm sure you'll have seen it, Lomachenko and Devin Haney. Thoughts on the results, thoughts on the scorecards?
I didn't actually watch the fight.
Maybe not.
No, I didn't watch the fight, and I'm useless at scoring fights, so they wouldn't be giving me a judge.
So it's Dave Moretti.
Me and Dave Moretti, we might be. I'm not. I can't tell you what I thought about the scorecards. I'm happy for Devin Haney though, because known him for a long time. He's a great guy. Messaged him before the fight as well. Always had a good relationship, even after. We did 5 or 6 of his fights, and what he's done in his career at such a young age. I think 23 years old, 24 years old. I think. It's quite amazing. So yeah, respect to him.
Devin Haney. There's been a lot of talk about him fighting Shakur Stevenson next potentially. What would your predictions for that be?
Brilliant fight, Shakur Stevenson, another tremendous fighter. From what I read, though, I'm not sure that Devin Haney is going to be renewing his contract with Top Rank, but who knows.
Conor Benn, Chris Eubank. This is something we've been talking about, especially since Eubank Smith's been called off. Is that something you'd be interested in putting on?
100 million percent.
Would you be worried about any of the criticism or backlash coming out if you did put that fight back on, obviously with everything with Conor Benn?
There's things ongoing in the background as well at the same time, but our focus is to get we'd love to make that fight happen, so it's nowhere near done, but lots of discussions have happened over a period of time. It would be great to see that fight because it's a huge fight for the sport.
Brilliant, thank you, Frank.